Good evening, all you sim race fans out there, and welcome to BRL TV's Round 4 coverage of the Bootleg Racing League Street Stock Series, Season 27. I am Ryan Seneker, and up with me in the booth, as always, is Matt Hoos. We're coming to you live tonight from the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway over in Stafford Springs, Connecticut, and we're going to be bringing you all the action this Saturday night, July 21st, 2023. All the way back in 1994, the racing revolution was born. The legendary Bootleg Racing Series, powered by Papyrus sim racing software and fueled by the thrill of short track racing, PRS burst onto the scene, leaving tire tracks of excitement in its wake. Every race was a high-speed symphony pushing the limits of virtual horsepower and skill. But when the curtains fell on Papyrus, the heart-pounding action of BRS seemed destined to fade away. However, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the series returned with a vengeance in 2013, emerging as the all-new Bootleg Racing League, ready to dominate the sim racing world once again. Now embracing the iRacing platform, BRL unleashed its full potential, taking on the most iconic American short tracks with a renewed passion. And that brings us to where we are tonight. Stafford Motor Speedway was founded in 1870 as a horse racing track and transitioned to automobile racing in the 1930s. This half-mile oval features semi-banked corners, those being 9 degrees in turns 1 and 2, and 7.5 degrees in turns 3 and 4, allowing for some great side-by-side racing, making it ideal for short track racing. As always, the starting grid will be determined by the 15-car inversion based on last week's finishing order. This means the top finishers from the previous race will have to work their way up through the pack. There are also no fast repairs and no tire changes, so the drivers will have to take care of their equipment as the night progresses. And finally, this season brought the addition of a single green-white checkered attempt. If the caution flag is displayed at the end of the night, the race will be extended for a thrilling shootout to the checkered flag. This means that every position gained or lost in those decisive movements could be the difference between victory and defeat. And now, with all the formalities out of the way, welcome again to Stafford Motor Speedway and into the world of BRL, where speed is king and victory is the ultimate prize. Let me hand it over to my boothmate, Matt Hoos. Matt, what can we expect to see here tonight?
Oh, Ryan, good to join you here tonight. Stafford is one of these places that you really don't know what you're going to get when you get here. It puts on a lot of good races. It is a single groove racetrack. However, it lends itself to be kind of a tighter track at the same time. I think you're going to see guys starting to set guys up in the center of the corner, and a lot of passing is going to be done on exit. They're going to be trying to use that apron. There's a lot of close quarters racing. I think we're in for a good race here tonight.
Oh, it's sure to be a great one, as always. And let's take a quick moment and run down the points. J.R. Shepard holds on to a 6-point lead over Jeffrey Harden, with series rookie Lewis Flowers closing the gap, only 10 points behind Shepard, after he beat Shepard to the checkered flag last week at USA Speedway. John Wilson and Joe Segala are tied for 4th place, as the top 5 in the points start to separate themselves a little bit from the rest of the drivers. Now, I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm going to be keeping my eye on Flowers. Could he be the one to finally challenge Shepard and Harden for the championship, or was last week a one-off for the newcomer?
You know, Flowers has been showing some improvement. His first week was a little rough when he started here, but every week he seems to be progressing more and more, and that showed last week with his win over JR. To say nonetheless, he actually held him off at the end of the race, so he's got some talent there.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be said that the list of drivers who have beaten JR to the line, well, that's a very short list indeed. And yeah, Flowers can proudly say he is one of those such drivers. And it is also important to note that J.R. Shepard is not here tonight, so Jeffrey Harden might be jumping into the lead pretty easily.
Yeah, we're going to see the defending champion taking over that top spot, possibly. Can't say for sure because you never know how these things will go. But, yeah, him and Flowers, if they have a decent night tonight, that'll put them 1 and 2.
All right, and now the drivers are taken to the field. Let us run you through the grid. Starting on the pole tonight is Bruce Pearson, the number 22 of Loose Lugs, with Tom Hilbert to his outside. Ray Andrew and Donnie Moore will be in row number 2, with row number 3 consisting of Steve Hilbert and Justin Walbring. Brian Johnson and John Wilson will be row number 4. Row 5, Jeffrey Harden, the defending champ, and Joe Segala to his outside in the number 81. Lewis Flowers, we just spoke about him, number 62. He's going to be coming from the back as he won last week at USA, starting in 11th. Marino Valente to his outside in the 53, and Chris Hazlip will round out the 13-car field tonight at Stafford.
Now, with us only having 13 cars tonight, Ryan, I see this going a couple different ways. We could have let's call it a stinker, where everybody gets in line and everybody just follows each other. But we do have a small enough field tonight that I feel like we're going to see a lot of green flag racing, and I feel good about tonight. I think everybody knows JR's not here, so they all have a chance of winning. So I think they're going to be trying to take that podium spot.
Well, and also one thing to consider that we talked about before the show, but the viewers at home might not be aware. You see all that green to the left of all those drivers. That is a massive, massive infield. Now, if you are in an incident and you slide down below that yellow line, it'll take you an incredibly long time to get back on the track because we all know how well these things handle in grass. But also, the caution will not come out. You are off the racing surface. iRacing will not trigger a caution. So if you slide to the inside of the track, you're just out of luck.
Yeah, and that can be a bad thing. I've seen cars slide in the grass going into the corner, and they come out in the middle of the pack on the back straight.
Yeah, I mean, it can go either ways, but Stafford is definitely one of the tracks where you got to be cautious of sliding through that grass. Now, it's on Bruce Pearson as the pace car has pulled off. Pearson waits, and there he gets on the lap hill. A good jump for Pearson with Ray Andrews with 51 already looking to his outside. Or, correction, tucking up behind him. That's Tom Hilbert, the 61 to his outside. And then
3 wide.
Yep, 3 wide already going back there for, what spot would that be? That'd be 9th place they're battling over. See Donnie Moore starting to poke his nose to the inside of Hilbert, looking to go up to that podium spot. Right behind them, that's Justin Walbring in the 27. Steve Hilbert to his inside in that green-yellow, number 52. Almost 4 wide there with the Canadian, John Wilson, poking his nose in there. The inside of John Wilson, that is Jeffrey Harden, number 36. New paint scheme. He's had a lot of new paint schemes this season. I think he just likes to keep us on our toes.
Yeah, I think he's trying different paint schemes, see if he can find a faster one.
Oh, and the 27 Walbring up in the wall and out. Caution is out. I'm willing to bet that was a mechanical failure there. He drove it hard into the wall and then immediately towed. Let's see if we can get a better look at what happened there. There you see Walbring in the 27 just went high, got stuck in the wall. The double
I don't know.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't know if he overdrove that corner, and when he did, he locked up the front tires and it just slid to the outside, or if he had a hardware failure there and it just went out there.
It kind of looked like he just overdrove it and tried to tow to prevent the caution from coming out, which did not work. But either way, he is on pit road. He has not disconnected. He is sitting on pit road waiting for the tow. If he does rejoin, he'll be multiple laps down by the time he gets back on the racing track.
I just seen him disconnect, so Walbring is out.
All right, Walbring puts on the trailer for the night. He has wrapped it up. We still have 12 cars running, all 12 cars on the lead lap. Marino Valente rounding out your 12-car field. Good start from Pearson. He took that lead quick and he held it. Not a whole lot of pressure yet, as some of the faster guys, Donnie Moore, Jeffrey Harden, Joe Segala, they're all still stuck in traffic. Not up to him to pressure him yet, but still, he was holding off Ray Andrews. He was holding off Tom Hilbert before Tom got stuck on the high side. So good start from Pearson.
Yeah, Pearson's looking pretty strong today. On this restart, you're going to see Donnie Moore right behind him, so he's got some competition up there.
Yeah, Donnie Moore in third. That just means bad luck for Ray Andrews, the 51. He's going to be starting front row on the outside.
Yeah, the outside it's not very good here. You might be able to do a little bit, but You're not going to be able to pass anybody up there. At least I don't think.
No, I think that's a tall order for Andrews. I think he's going to, best case scenario, tuck in behind Donnie ahead of Steve Hilbert and hope for the best. And lights are out. Pace car has peeled off. Bruce Pearson is coming around to take that green flag one more time. It'll be lap 8 when the flag drops. Oh, good start from Pearson. Got him locked out a little early. But Andrews anticipated and stayed alongside, knowing the position he is stuck in. But it did nothing for him as he still dropped behind Donnie, and it looks like Steve Hilbert is going to keep his nose to the inside. Andrews got clear. Andrews tucks in. He holds on to that final podium spot. Steve Hilbert in 4th, and looks like John Wilson is moving up into 5th as we see Hilbert doing exactly what we were afraid of. Someone was sailing off in the grass, no caution. Pretty clean transition back to the track. Good recovery from Hilbert, but he does drop back to 12th.
So that was an excellent save because he was sideways a couple times in the grass.
And we got some door bang as Donnie Moore already made a move for the lead. Slapped doors to Pearson. Now Moore is down on the track. Off the racing surface, facing the wrong direction. No caution. Worst case scenario for Donnie Moore.
That's what we were talking about here at this track. There's just so much infield here with the iRacing program. It just does not recognize if you're off of the track, it will not bring out that caution unless you are in the racing groove in the way.
There you saw a replay of a little door banging that happened between the 22 of Pearson and the 26 of Donnie Moore. Did not end well for Moore as he is back in 12th and far back from the field. It looks like more trouble as the 00 of Brian Johnson might have gone off the track. There you see the 00 right below Tom Hilbert. Got loose, sailed through the grass. No caution. Huge infield to deal with tonight. Again, nice recovery though.
Yeah, that can be extremely frustrating as a driver. You know, you do something like that, you get loose, but you save it, so you're still able to race, but no caution comes out, and now you're half a track behind, and so it does get frustrating as a driver.
Now, I want to call this out. It's a little early to call it out, but I want to call it out just because how many times will you get to do this? The big mover is currently a 6-way tie. John Wilson, Jeffrey Harden, Joe Segala, Luis Flowers, Marino Valente, and Chris Hazlip are all up 5 spots.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, how often do I get to say that? I had to do it.
Yeah.
The next biggest mover is Ray Andrews, up 1 spot.
I got some information here. That's kind of it's what happens when sim racing. You know, when we take this as serious in real life, but things happen in sim racing. I got word that Walbring's kid yanked on his wheel is why he crashed.
Well, I'm going to call that a mechanical failure. That is something that can happen in the world of sim racing, and that's very unfortunate for Justin.
Just remind you, you know, as much fun as we have doing this, and it's also, you know, guys, take this serious. You put a lot of practice into this stuff, but yeah, just funny things like that happen involving your family, and it's just all in fun, you know.
All right, some close racing between Andrews and Wilson. A little door banging going on there, and that knocked Andrews up the track, allowing Jeffrey Harden to move up to 3rd, now under immediate pressure from the defending champ. Joe Segala taking advantage, trying to move up to 4th, keeping Andrews stuck on the high side. Andrews drops back to 5th. And there he is, up in 6th and looking to go into the top 5. That is Luis Flowers, number 62. Great car right there. He's the one we talked about. He's the one who beat Shepard. Let's see what he can do at Stafford. Still out front, paying the price for being out in a boring lead. That is Bruce Pearson, the 22, not getting a whole lot of camera time as he is just walking away from the field. John Wilson up to 2nd.
You know, as you're seeing here, it's a hard track to pass on. Everybody wants that line. Everybody runs that line right on the white line down there going through the corners. And the way you're you're going to see these guys trying to make passes is they might run a little wide in the center and then cut down onto the apron to try to stick a nose in there. But if you do that, you run the risk of the car getting loose, and you also lose momentum, so it's really hard to get a pass completed here.
Yeah, the whole field is single file. Right now, it looks like the big move is going to be from the 62 of Flowers, as he is really putting the pressure to Andrews up ahead. That'll be for the 5th spot he's going for. Oh, looks like we have a little side-by-side. That is Chris Hazlip to the inside, Marino Valente to the outside. Hazlip in that blue 53, or 93, correction. Taking away 7th spot as Marino falls back another. Back up, Flowers is making his move. Pinned Andrews up high, and he takes away 5th. Up 6 spots from where he started. Up front, the gap to Pearson is slowly being chipped away at by John Wilson. He has that down to half a second. Jeffrey Harden, Joe Segala right in line, staying in tow.
Yeah, we got plenty of race left here. We're just about halfway. So you can be a little patient here. You're going to have to sense these front 4 are so close. Hardin can be a little picky here and wait to see if John will make a mistake. He's got a little time to do that. You don't have to be rushed at this point.
And as you say that, I think Jeff's already starting to look to the inside of Wilson there. I saw his nose go way low. Maybe he had thoughts of taking 2nd place away, but thought better of it. This is a high-risk, high-reward kind of situation because there are enough cars on track that if he gets significant damage from making a bad move, well, there goes him taking the points lead away.
Yeah, you'll see John's taking the typical line where he gets to the bottom, drifts up in the center, and then comes back down on low on exit in 1 and 2. And Jeff's taking a little bit of a different line. He's running low in the center. I think that's where he's looking to stick the nose in one of these times through here.
Yeah, looks like Harden tried to stick his nose in one more time, coming out of turn 2 there, not able to get all the way up to Wilson's bumper. And following really close to John Wilson, trying to force a mistake out of the Canadian.
You know, and all these guys race clean here, so everybody's trying to, they don't intentionally get into people, although it does happen, but these cars are particularly hard with that because what you see out of the windshield, you see the nose end, but there's another foot of front end sticking out there that you can easily get into somebody and not mean to. I've done that myself many times.
Well, here we ride on board with Jeffrey Harden. You can see his viewpoint as we're right alongside his head in the camera.
Yeah, and you see in that view right there, you see what looks like the end of his hood, but there's another foot beyond that sticking out because these cars have the wedge front end on them there, and that could easily spin somebody out if you get too close with that.
Running order has stayed the same. Bruce Pearson is still your leader. John Wilson, Jeffrey Harden, Joe Segala, and Lewis Flowers round out the top 5. The gap between Flowers and Segala is over a second and a half. I don't know if Flowers has enough race left to make that up at this point. Pearson doing a great job trying to hold on to that lead. He has lost another 10th and a half to Wilson. But again, the laps are counting down quick. If Wilson wants to do anything, or Harden for that matter, they're running out of time to do it.
Yeah, I've noticed Harden trying to set John up there. I've seen a couple corners where he's gone in high and tried getting down onto the apron to get a nose in there, but you lose that momentum, so it's hard to get that nose to stay up in there to where you can start a pass.
Yeah, it looks like Segala is sitting comfortably in 4th and content. He's not really pushing. He's not really being aggressive. He's just kind of riding and letting the race come to him as his gap is also shrinking to Harden.
Ironically, I think, if I'm correct on this, Ryan, I think 3 out of that top 4 are teammates, aren't they?
Oh yeah, Bruce Pearson, Jeffrey Harden, and Joe Segala, all teammates. The only one standing out in the crowd, that is John Wilson, Team CDR. This season was the merger between several other teams as they all came together to join Loose Lugs, and it looks like the teamwork is paying off as they are all having a great season so far.
Yeah, they've been impressive. These guys, I'm interested to see what's happened here. We're about 10 to go here. You can run with your teammates, you can work together, but as I know, some of us are on teams, you work together until a point, and then come to one point where you're all on your own.
Yeah, once the pay window opens, the line between teammate and competitor kind of gets blurry, but for now they seem to content as Harden's making another move for second. This time he did get a nose in. Wilson forced to pull up on the corner. That's going to give second place quickly over to Jeffrey Harden. Let's see if Joe Segala takes advantage. As we had trouble further back, Marino Valente has gone off track. He is back up and running again. I'm assuming similar situation to the other drivers who had unfortunate luck earlier. All right, Harden has successfully cleared in a second. John Wilson third. Joe Segala did not get his nose up there to take away the last podium spot. Still running back and forth. Let's go back and see what happened to Valente. And you see the 53 there. Going into turn 3. Got a little loose on entry. And continued to get loose coming out. And same deal, just slid down the grass. Another good recovery, though. Able to keep it relatively close to track and rejoin quickly. But, yeah, again, lost a lot of spots in the process. He's back to 11th.
You know, we have seen a few guys tonight get loose, and they've done a good job, all done a good job of saving it.
Yeah, they kept a level head, maneuvered the car back on track, and just continued to run. So far, Justin Walbring is out with what we are calling mechanical trouble. And here we have a move for the lead, Jeffrey Harden. 36 down low, 22 up high. Looks like Bruce Pearson is going to lose several spots if Wilson can close up on him. Harden got a nose ahead and was scored as the leader that time by. Pearson goes much further up the track. That allows Wilson to get to the inside. Now Joe Segala might have visions of taking away that podium. Eight laps to go this time by. Harden successfully cleared out in the front. Bruce Pearson still trying to hold on to the outside of Wilson. But the longer they battle, the more Joe is able to get up there. And Pearson saw him coming. Quick gave up the battle to close that door on Segala. Jeffrey Harden is the leader, number 36. Behind him, John Wilson. Wilson has not fallen off of Harden's pace. I was thinking maybe Pearson was holding both of them up, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
No, now you got Pearson right back there hanging on with John, and John's not letting Jeff get away. We're under four or five to go here, but this race is far from over.
And we have another off track, Lewis Flowers. Unfortunate way for the 62 to end his night.
Looks like Wilson's, he might have something there for Jeff.
Yeah, Wilson, the number 75, he is no slouch. He is getting better and better with every season. He may have started a dirt driver, but I think anyone would be a fool to count him out on an asphalt track at this point. We got a blink out of the leader. Harden blinked hard. Looked like Wilson actually lifted a little bit for that one. Harden still unable to break away from John Wilson. 36 is holding the lead, but not by the margin you would expect out of the defending champ. Coming around to take 2 to go. Arden, Wilson, Pearson, Segala, and Chris Hazlip round out your top 5. Good run from Hazlip. The top 4 have broken away from the rest of the field by almost 7 seconds, as more and more drivers keep getting caught in the grass. White flag in the air. Jeffrey Harden has a strong hold on the lead. I don't think Wilson has anything for him on this final lap. Bruce Pearson holding on to the podium ahead of Joe Segala. Harden coming around the final corner. Good closed line. Wilson looked not able to do it as Harden comes across the line to take that checkered flag. Number 36 of Jeffrey Harden, loose lugs.
It's a good race tonight. The top 4 there put on quite a little show there at the end. A lot of passing going on. Not disappointed.
No, that was actually a good way to finish it out. Yeah, good battle. It could have went to any 4 of them if there was a mistake from any one. It would have been over. All right, with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to run you through the finishing order and to go talk to our podium finishers. Don't go far. And welcome back. Finishing with your checkered flag tonight, that is Jeffrey Harden, the number 36, loose lugs. Coming home in second was the Canadian John Wilson. Gave a heck of a fight, didn't have enough in the end. Bruce Pearson led so many laps, couldn't lead the most important one, which is the final one. Came home in third. Joe Segala, quiet night for him. Just sat around in 4th place, following the leaders, but didn't make a move, wasn't able to get his nose to the inside. Chris Hazlip rounds out your top 5. A nice, quiet, consistent race from Chris. Got him up a lot of spots as people struggled in the grass. Further back, we have Lewis Flowers. Came home in 6th. He won last week. Didn't have the magic this week, but we'll see what he can do next week. Donnie Moore, another driver, had trouble in the grass. Number 26, came home in 7th place. Ray Andrews, 8th place. Brian Johnson, 9th place. Tom Hilbert rounds out your top 10. Now we have Marino Valente. He came home in 11th. He was the last car running. Steve Hilbert came down the pits early. Might have just decided this track was not favoring him tonight and retired early. He comes home in 12th. And Justin Walbring, mechanical issues, probably the funniest ones I've ever heard of. Well, bad night for him. He comes home dead last, 13th place. And with that, we have caught up with our race winner. Let's pull him on up here and talk to him. Jeffrey Harden, it's right up in the booth. You got a copy? Jeff, you got a copy? Looks like we don't have the race winner to talk to. Mic issues possibly. I'll drop him down and try him after we talked to our second place finisher, John Wilson. John, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Ryan.
Well, John, a good race. You stayed up front pretty much the whole way. Charged the field early, you held on to it, and you didn't even let Harden get away from you when he got to the front. How was the car feeling tonight?
It was a little bit loose, but as long as you were light on the throttle, it wasn't too bad. I did a lot of practicing this week. I'm getting used to a new wheel and pedal combination, so I wanted to make sure I didn't make a fool of myself.
Oh, for sure. Changing out pedals and wheels, that's essentially changing out a whole car to a real-world driver, so good on you for getting up to speed so quick. Now, with that in mind, Stafford, it's banked, but just enough for them to say it's banked. How are you keeping the car so straight in the corners as literally half the field was sailing through the grass?
Like I said, just real easy on the throttle. I was a little bit of brake going in, and then kind of roll through the middle a little bit, and just pick the throttle up real slow coming out, and it seemed to be working all right for me.
Okay, now you stayed right on the bumper of Harden right up to the end. Do you think a few more laps you might have had something for him?
I don't know. I tried a couple things, and I had to try a lot of things to get by that 22 car. I think he had 4 or 5 cars out there. He seemed like he was 4 or 5 cars wide, so I think I kind of used my stuff up a little bit. But it's just fun battling with these guys. It's a great time every week.
All right, and I'll get you out of here on this one. Next week, we're going to the Bull Ring. How are you feeling that track?
I guess we'll just have to take it how it comes. I don't know. I'm not real familiar with all the asphalt tracks. I'm just kind of getting the hang of this stuff, so we'll see what happens when we get there.
All right, sounds good, John. Second place, who would you like to thank for tonight?
Actually, I have to thank your sometimes booth mate, Matt Hoos. He helped me with some setups on my wheel, and it's really helped. I got to thank, of course, you in the booth and doing all the other broadcasts that you do, man. You do an amazing job. I don't know how you do it all by yourself when you do it by yourself. I got to thank Chris Davis for taking me on Team CDR this season. It's, as you can see, well, late last season and this season, as you can see, it's helping me out with my results. And of course, Lowell for putting this league on, giving us a place to run on Fridays and Saturday nights.
All right, John, well, great run tonight, and we will see you down the road at the Bull Ring.
Yeah, you betcha, buddy.
That was John Wilson. He came home in second. Now let's see if we caught up to our race winner, Jeffrey Harden. Jeff, do you have a copy?
Hey, Ryan, do you hear me?
There he is, Jeffrey Harden, number 36, Loose Lugs. Jeff, you took a really long time to get to the front tonight. Were you just pacing yourself?
Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping that John was going to get by Bruce and make it easier on me because I really don't want to pass my teammate, but I kind of got put in that spot, so I did it anyways.
All right, well, with tonight, you got your win. You didn't even need the win. You already took the points lead away from J.R. Shepard, who wasn't here tonight. Did that kind of take the pressure off you a little bit?
No, I mean, you still got Lewis and Joe Segala back there and Donnie Moore, so there's other guys out there that are fast and capable of winning the championship, so every point counts.
Very true. And I got to ask you, being the owner of Loose Lugs, were you pretty proud tonight? Your cars came home first, third, and fourth.
Yeah, I mean, the guys are doing awesome. Everybody's improving. I think we performed the right time to come together as a team. Everybody's kind of grown into their own at the same time.
Yeah, with the exception of John Wilson and Chris Hazlett, your team were the only cars who didn't get loose out there today, as everyone else was sailing across the grass. Now, how did the track feel to you? Was it loose conditions, or were you just kind of enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it was definitely slick, especially early on. And then if you got on it too hard, after a few laps, you could definitely tell on exit. The car just wanted to snap around.
All right, Jeff. Well, congratulations on a quiet, successful win tonight. And who would you like to thank?
I'd just like to wish my beautiful wife, Brandy, a happy birthday. Happy birthday, baby. I love you.
All right. Happy birthday, Brandy. And we will see you at the Bull Ring next week, Jeff.
All right. Have a good one, Ryan.
That was Jeffrey Harden. He came home race winner tonight. And that looks like it is going to round out our interviews, as we do not have third place. So with that, let me just go ahead. There we go. And say, if you like what you saw here tonight, well, the Street Stocks, they will be back on July 28th, this time from the Bull Ring at Las Vegas, with all of the action right back here at BRL TV at 7:10 p.m. Eastern. But before that, tomorrow evening at 7:15, the all-new Sportsman Series will be right back here, this time round 2 of the Street Stocks, Stafford Motor Speedway, so be sure to tune in for that one. Heat format, maybe the same car, but it's not the same race. Everything you've seen and heard here tonight was made possible by the Skidder Creek Motorsports Group. It is home to the Bootleg Racing League, the GT Racing League, Thunder Ridge Racing, the Virtual Grip Network, and more. For more information, visit them over at skiddercreek.com. This has been a production of BRL TV. It is a broadcasting service aimed at giving up-and-coming commentators, directors, and journalists a place to get their feet wet in the world of sim racing broadcasting. If you've ever wondered if you have what it takes to broadcast live races, this is your chance to get some experience without any pressure. If you're interested in getting in on the fun, visit us over at bootlegracingleague.com and you can find out how. Now, from all of us here on the BRL TV crew, myself, Matt Hoos, and Lowell Jewell, until next time, thanks for watching, and have a great night.